Good morning, students. I hope so you all are doing well. So this is the revision session 3 from the subject economics, chapter 2, sectors of the Indian economy, class 10. So in our previous revision session, we have started off with geography, chapter 1, that was resources and development. So many of the queries have been asked for economics. So I have just taken this chapter 2, sectors of the Indian economy in this revision session. And if you have doubt in any of the topics, just let me know before so that I can add those topics as well in this revision session. So now we have started off with this online classes, as you all know. So first of all, you have to come online and join the meeting and give your attendance. After that, you have to watch this video, and when you have watched this video, come again and join that meeting with your doubts. I will take all your doubts and explain you you are not able to understand any of that topic. So let's get started now. So the topic that we are going to cover in this particular lecture will be these. So we are not going to cover all the topics that are there in this chapter. We are going to take few of them today. So firstly, what is economy? So we'll discuss about that, what basically economy is all about. Then we'll take the three sectors of the economy. What are the major three sectors of the economy? We'll talk about that. Then comparing these three sectors. Then primary, secondary and tertiary sectors, what are there in India, and the historical changes that happened in these three particular sectors. And then the homework. So these will be the topics that we are going to cover in this particular lecture. So I'm going to take the first topic now, that is, what is economy? So basically, what is economy? Economy is the framework. It's a kind of a framework that has been written in which economic activities take place and therefore give income in return. So whatever economic activity we are doing, so whatever services we are doing, if we are engaged in any of the economic activity, and it is in return giving us some amount of income, it is paying back some amount of income to us, that's a part of an economy. So we all are living in a part of an economy who are employed. Basically, who are employed, they are the part of our economy who is earning some amount in return of their work. So basically, some are engaged in this agriculture activities, some are engaged in production activities and generating those items. Then some are engaged in service activities. Mostly people are engaged in service activities currently. So these particular economic activities which are there, they work under a framework, and that is what we call economy. So it is divided into certain sectors as well. So we'll discuss about that. So what are the sectors of these economic activities? So there are many activities that are undertaken by directly using natural resources. So there are a lot of activities that are there around us that are undertaken directly by using all the natural resources that is around us. So they are using the land area or water, air, all the natural substances they are taking to do all these economic activities. So for example, the cultivation of cotton, it takes place within the crop season, and when we produce a good by exploiting these natural resources, it is an activity of a primary sector. So when we are producing, so all the producing activities are there, जो भी हम produce कर रहे हैं, जिससे हम all from and by exploiting these natural resources, जो भी हमारे जैसे land ले लिया, soil ले लिया, water का use कर लिया, so हम exploit कर रहे हैं natural resources को by producing certain food items or certain producing any other item out of it. It is a kind of an activity which we count in primary sector. So the first one is primary sector, in which we are producing. हम produce कर रहे हैं वो सारी activities and by exploiting the natural resources around us. And this is because it forms the base for all other products that we subsequently make. So basically हम प्राइमरी एक्टिविटी इसलिए करते हैं बिकॉज वो एक बेस दे देता है बाकी एक्टिविटीज जो उसके आगे होंगी. सो इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ अ रॉ मटेरियल वी आर प्रोड्यूसिंग, बट उस रॉ मटेरियल को प्रोडक्ट बनाने के लिए बहुत सारी चीजें होती है. तो हम बेसिकली उनको बस एक बेस दे रहे हैं, हम एक रॉ मटेरियल दे रहे हैं ताकि बाकी सारे आइटम जो उसके एक एनलाइनमेंट होता है कि वो जिस प्रोसेस के थ्रू जाते हैं वो हो सके. So basically primary activity is giving just the base to all the other products that we subsequently make. Since most of the natural products we get are from agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry, this sector is also called agriculture and related sector. So basically all the natural products we are getting it from agriculture or dairy, fishing, forestry, this sector only. So it is called the agriculture and related sector. Now this secondary sector covers activities in which natural products are changed into other forms through ways of manufacturing that we associate with industrial activities. So that was the primary activity. So we have got the base, we have got all the raw material. Now if we have to convert them into the products that we can use them or we can eat them, so all these activities come under the secondary sector activities. So these activities come the secondary sector covers activities in which all the natural products which we have taken from the primary sector are changed into other forms through ways of manufacturing that we associate with industrial activities. So all the natural products that we have taken, now we are changing them into forms that we can manufacture them and associate with all the industrial activities are there. Now we are making biscuit. तो बिस्किट बनाने के लिए हमें सबसे पहले all the raw material we need. अब रॉ मटेरियल हमें मिल गया है, तो अब हमारे पास है मशीनरीज हैं, एक हमने इंडस्ट्री सेटअप करी जिसमें हम वो बिस्किट बनाएंगे. तो जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होगी, जो जिसमें वो बनेगा, दैट कम्स अंडर द सेकेंडरी सेक्टर. सो इट इज द नेक्स्ट स्टेप आफ्टर द प्राइमरी वन. Now the secondary sector gradually become associated with the different kinds of industries that came up, and it is called an industrial sector also. So basically secondary sector को हम industrial sector क्यों कहते हैं? Basically in secondary sector it is gradually, not एकदम से वो जैसे wheat हुआ एकदम से वो बिस्किट में बन गया. It's a proper process. उसका gradually becomes associated with the different kind of industries. एक नहीं होती, बहुत सारी डिफरेंट टाइप्स की होती है, इसलिए हम उसको एक इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर भी कहते हैं. सो आफ्टर प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी सेक्टर, सो वी हैव फिनिश्ड ऑफ विद प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी वन. देयर इज द थर्ड कैटेगरी ऑफ एक्टिविटीज दैट फॉल अंडर टेरिटरी सेक्टर, एंड इन दिस टेरिटरी सेक्टर इट इज क्वाइट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द अबव टू. व्हाई? बिकॉज इन these are the activities that help in the development of the primary and secondary sector. So now you have produced it, you have manufactured it, or you have made that particular product into a product. Now अब वो product आपके पास कैसे आएगा, किसके थ्रू आएगा, और बाकी जो सर्विसेज भी होती हैं वो आपकी तरफ कैसे मिलेंगी. So that is the another step after primary and the secondary sector. So it is, these are the activities that help in the development. ये अगर आपके पास नहीं आएगा, आप उसको खरीदेंगे नहीं, तो जो प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी सेक्टर में जो भी वर्क हुआ है दैट इज निल, उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है. तो टेरिटरी सेक्टर इज इम्पोर्टेंट बिकॉज इट इज हेल्प इन द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी सेक्टर ऑल्सो. हाउ? बिकॉज ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होता है, स्टोरेज होता है, कम्युनिकेशन, बैंकिंग, ट्रेड, ऑल दीज थिंग्स कम आर द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द टेरिटरी सेक्टर. दे हेल्प टू एक्सप्लॉइट ऑल दी थिंग्स अराउंड यू. जो भी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होती है वो इन्हीं के थ्रू होती है, स्टोरेज, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, जो होलसेल मार्केट में होता है, होलसेल मार्केट से रिटेल मार्केट्स में होती हैं. सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स हेल्प एंड आर द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द टेरिटरी सेक्टर. सिंस दीज एक्टिविटीज जनरेट सर्विसेज rather than goods, so the tertiary sector is also called the service sector. So now these activities are basically generating the services. They are not producing it, or they are not manufacturing. They are generating services rather than the producing of these goods. So this tertiary sector is also known as service sector. Now what are the classification of these Indian economic sectors? How can we classify them? So again, so the Indian economy can be classified into various sectors on the basis of its ownership, working condition of the workers, and the nature of the activity being performed. So the classification of these activities based on three factors. First of all, based on their ownership. So how how, if the basically what are the services you are doing, you own that or you are working under them. So it depends on that also. So the working condition of a worker depends. एक नेचर होता है कि आप कौन से पर्टिकुलर काम कर रहे हो, आप बिजनेसमैन हो या आप एक जॉब पर्सन हो. सो इट डिपेंड्स. सो द बेसिकली जो बेसिस ऑफ इस ओनरशिप ऑल्सो डिपेंड. वर्किंग कंडीशन एक वर्कर का क्या है, वो खुद की फर्म में काम कर रहा है या फिर वो किसी और की फर्म में एज अ एम्प्लॉय काम कर रहा है. तो इट नेचर ऑफ द एक्टिविटी भी डिपेंड करती है व्हाट दे आर परफॉर्मिंग. नाउ इट इज ऑल्सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द नेचर ऑफ एक्टिविटी. Indian economy can be classified into three sectors that we have discussed: primary, secondary and tertiary sector. Now on the basis of working condition, economy can be classified into organized and unorganized sector. So on the basis of the working condition, मतलब वो एक प्रॉपर एम्प्लॉय है या फिर वो अनएम्प्लॉयड है, वो किस कैटेगरी में आता है, वो एम्प्लॉयमेंट कैटेगरी में, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट कैटेगरी या फिर इन सर्च. So there are certain things we will discuss that in organized and unorganized sector में divided होते हैं. Now on the basis of ownership, Indian economy can be classified into public and private sector. So they are working in government sector, in public sector, or in the private sector, in private companies. So it depends on that as well. Now we are going to compare these three sectors and which particular sector is progressive and which are not. So we are going to compare these three sectors. So the various production activities in the primary, secondary and tertiary sectors produce a very large number of goods and services. So all these three particular sectors who are working in primary, secondary and tertiary sectors, they produce a very large number of goods and services for the people and for the entire population that is working in that particular country. So also the three sectors have a large number of people working in them to produce these goods and services. Basically all these three sectors which are there, they have a large number of people working in them to produce these goods and services. So they are using a large number of people who are working for them. Then there is one precaution one has to take: not every good that is produced and sold also need to be counted. So first of all, the first rule here is everyone think that कि जो भी वो प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं वो सोल्ड होगा. नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. आप कुछ बहुत सारे ऐसे आइटम होते हैं जो वेस्ट हो जाते हैं, जो कि हम सोल्ड भी नहीं कर पाते हैं या सोल्ड होते नहीं हैं. तो बेसिकली इसमें हम क्या करें, जो भी सारी प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि वो सारी चीजें सोल्ड भी हों एंड इट शुड बी काउंटेड इन दी आर जीडीपी. सो इट मेक सेंस ओनली द फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. जो फाइनल में जो चीज बिक रही है, जो प्रोड्यूस होके सीधा बिक रही है, जो फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज है, वी आर ओनली काउंटिंग दैट इन आर जीडीपी. सो फॉर इंस्टेंस, अ फार्मर हु सेल्स wheat to a flour mill for ₹8 per kg and the mill grains the wheat and sell the flour to the biscuit company at ₹10 per kg. सो बेसिकली वो जितने में बेच रहा है, वो खरीद रहा है, ये सारी चीज मैटर नहीं होती है. जो फाइनल अमाउंट होगा, जो जिसमें वो गुड वो बिस्किट बिका होगा, वही चीज काउंट की जाएगी और कुछ काउंट किया ही नहीं जाएगा, चाहे उसने कितने में बेचा हो उसको या उसके आगे मैन्युफैक्चर कितने को. जो लास्ट अमाउंट बचता है, जो फाइनल गुड एंड सर्विस का अमाउंट होता है, दैट इज ओनली कैलकुलेटेड इन ईच ऑफ दिस सेक्टर. Now intermediate goods are used up in producing final goods and services. So the value of final goods that are used in making the final goods. So basically in this particular line they are saying that जो भी value निकलती है final goods की, that is counted and जो भी उसकी making में count होती है, like जो प्राइमरी सेक्टर का जो फाइनल काउंट होगा वो काउंट होगा, जो सेकेंडरी का फाइनल काउंट होगा वो काउंट होगा, जो टेरिटरी का लास्ट काउंट होगा वो काउंट होगा. सो बेसिकली द फाइनल गुड्स दैट आर यूज इन मेकिंग द फाइनल गुड्स, उस वो अमाउंट इज काउंटेड इन द जीडीपी. सो द वैल्यू ऑफ फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज प्रोड्यूस इन ईच सेक्टर. हर एक सेक्टर का जो फाइनल गुड एंड सर्विस निकलता है, उस अमाउंट को हम लेते हैं ड्यूरिंग अ पर्टिकुलर ईयर, प्रोवाइड द total production of the sector for that year, and the sum of production in the three sectors gives what is called GDP, that is gross domestic product of the country. So it is the value of all the final goods and service produced within a country during a particular year, and GDP shows how big the economy is. So basically GDP is used to ascertain how big the economy is. So it is going to calculate all the value of all the final goods and services produced within a country during a particular year, and it shows how big an economy that particular country's economy is. Now the primary, secondary and tertiary sector in India. So over the 40 years we have seen between from 1971 to 72 till 2011 and 12. So these 40 years graph we have. So while production in all these three sectors have increased, it has increased mostly in the tertiary sector. So when we compare from 1970 to 2010, so what the difference has came. So mostly every sector have increased, and हर एक सेक्टर ने अपना मतलब जो प्रोडक्शन है वो बढ़ा ही है, वो कम नहीं हुआ, but it has increased mostly in the tertiary sector. Why? So as a result, in the year 2011 and 12, the tertiary sector was the one that has emerged as the largest producing sector and has in India, and replacing the primary sector. So in 1970, if you have seen the chart, it has given in your book. So it has given that the primary sector was the one जो सबसे ज़्यादा highest था, सबसे largest producing sector था उस time पे कि सब mostly people were engaged in the primary sector only. But now in 2011 it has been changed and tertiary sector became the largest producing sector and emerged as the largest producing sector as one. So there could be several reasons why tertiary sector becomes so important in India. So what were the changes that happened, and what that happened that वो shift आया from primary to tertiary sector. Why this shift has happened? So first, in any country there are several services such as hospitals, education institution, post and telegram services, etc. are required, and these can be constructed as basic services in a developing country, and the government has to take responsibility for the provision of these services. So now that we have seen in many times that in any country there are several services such as hospital, education institution, post and telegram, they are coming up in great numbers. तो पहले सिर्फ ये गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स और सर्विसेज होती थी, बट नाउ दे हैव बीन शिफ्टिंग इनटू दिस प्राइवेट सेक्टर्स में, जो कि प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स आ रहे हैं, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट्स आ रहे हैं, ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर दे आर कमिंग अप बिकॉज दे आर रिक्वायर्ड, क्योंकि पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रहा है एंड द अमाउंट दे आर ऑब्टेनिंग, जो सर्विसेज उनको चाहिए, दे ऑल्सो वांट दैट इट शुड बी good enough for them. So these can be considered as these basic services जो हैं उनको एक अच्छे वे में चाहिए. So in a developing country, the government has to take responsibility for the provision of these services as well. So second, the development of agriculture and industry leads to the development of services such as transport, trade, storage and the like, as we have already seen. So अगर प्राइमरी सेक्टर नहीं होगा तो बाकी सर्विसेज भी नहीं होंगी. सो बिकॉज इट गिव्स द बेस. तो डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर इंडस्ट्री जरूरी था, ताकि उसकी वजह से ही दैट लीड्स टू द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द सर्विस सच एज ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, ट्रेड, स्टोरेज एक्सेट्रा एज वेल. सो दैट अगर प्रोडक्शन नहीं होता तो दैट उसके बिना इट कुड नॉट लीड टू द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ दिस टेरिटरी सेक्टर हियर. Then third, as income level rise, certain sections of people start demanding many more services like eating out, tourism, shopping, private hospital, private school. So as you know, पहले जो income होती थी लोगों की, that is 100 rupees, 200 rupees, around like that. So अब जैसे income level बढ़ता जा रहा है लोग सबका, तो लोगों की डिमांड भी बढ़ रही है. Like they want to go out, they want to chill, they want to go for shopping, they want to go for tourism. मतलब यहाँ कभी मतलब माउंटेन्स में जाना है या फिर बीच साइड पे जाना है, केरला जाना है, तो दे वांट टू एक्सप्लोर ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. देन प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स, दे वांट की अच्छी सर्विसेज मिले, उन्हें प्रॉपर सर्विसेज मिले. देन प्राइवेट स्कूल्स. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स केम अप विद द राइज इन देयर इनकम. Now fourth, over the past decade or so, certain new services as those based on information and communication technology have become important and essential. So basically in the past case हम देखा जाए तो certain new services that have came are based on information and technology. Basically these services are now based on the technology. Like each and every person must be having a mobile or phone. टेक्नोलॉजी के बिना तो कोई इंसान आजकल रह ही नहीं सकता. So basically at given the new services that are given based on this information and communication technology, and that are quite important and essential in the current time. Now a remarkable fact about India is that while there has been a change in the share of these three sectors in GDP, a similar shift has not taken place in employment. But if we see that there was a remarkable factor about India is that there was a shift from primary to tertiary sector, but there was a similar shift, कुछ इतना proper shift नहीं हुआ था in the employment sector. So जितने लोग प्राइमरी सेक्टर में काम कर रहे थे उतने ही लोग टेरिटरी में काम कर रहे थे. कुछ ज़्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं आया उस चीज में. Why? Because this primary sector continues to be the largest employer even now. So India is one of the land, if you know that many of them are not that well educated, or they are not able to educate their children as much as possible. So the primary sector continues to be the largest employer, so that they see that that is one of the best possible thing that they can do. So it is still the largest employer even now, and more than half of the workers in the country are working in the basically they are working in the country in the primary sector, mainly in agriculture, producing only a quarter of this particular GDP. So more than half of the workers who are working in our country, they are working under this primary sector mainly because of this agriculture producing only a quarter of the GDP. Now the secondary and tertiary sector produce 3/4 of the produce, whereby they employ less than half of the people. So in the secondary and tertiary sector, they produce 3/4 of the employees, that is less than half of the people who are there in the primary sector. Now it means that there are more people in agriculture than in necessary. So even if you move a few people out, production will not be affected. So mainly we see that they are mostly people are engaged in the agricultural activities, and they are more than enough. So if we move few people out, production will not be affected. In other words, worker in agricultural sector are underemployed. So they have the capacity, अगर वो किसी और sectors में भी जाएं, they can do good, but they want to be in this agricultural sector because they want to be safe, play safe. So that's why they are known as underemployed as well. So the underemployment is hidden in context to someone who does not have a job, and it is clearly visible as unemployed. So the underemployed is one जो कि hidden होता है सबसे, कि जिसके पास who doesn't have a job and he is clearly visible as unemployed. Hence it is also called disguised unemployment. And if we see other people of the service sector on the street pushing a cart or selling something where they may spend the whole day but earn very little. So there are a lot of people that you see on the street जो कि ये fruits बेचते हैं, vegetables बेचते हैं, and lot more things. They are pushing a cart or selling something where they may spend the whole day but earn a very little, and they are doing this work because they do not have any other better opportunities around them. Now GDP, you all know about what it does mean. The value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of the sector for that year, and the sum of production in the three sectors give the gross domestic product of a country, and GDP shows how big the economy of a country is. Now the evolution of the economy from primary sector based to the tertiary sector. So we have discussed right now, from like during earlier civilization, all economic activities was in the primary sector. When the food production became surplus, people's need for other products increased, and this led to the development of secondary sector, and the growth of secondary sector spread its influence during the industrial revolution in 19th century. After growth of this economic activity, a support system was needed to facilitate these industrial activities, and certain sectors like transportation and finance play an important role in supporting the industrial activities. Moreover, more shops were needed to provide goods in people's neighborhood, and ultimately other services like tuition, administrative support, and they all develop time to timingly basically. So we are done with this lecture. So the homework that I want to assign you in this particular lecture is read the chapter till the topics that we have covered today and write in your own words about the classification of primary, secondary and tertiary sector in India, and what is the current status, what is basically the current status of these three sectors in India. Just compare it and write this answer and show it to me. So this is whole. If you still have queries, you can ask me in the when we have the doubt session now online. You can ask me anytime, and if you want to share any other thing as well, you can share it with me so that I can motivate you, because that is the most important thing that is needed. So that's it. Just take care of your health, that is most important, and come with your doubts in the online session now. Thank you.